The year 2025 revealed troubling abuses of trust within churches across America. 12 religious leaders faced shocking falls from grace, ranging from manipulation and financial misconduct to serious violations of their positions of authority. These cases shook communities and challenged faith in leadership. But nothing in this countdown prepares you for case number 1. The details are deeply alarming. This is the countdown of 12 pastors who were caught in 2025. Number 12. Neil Harrison Creasy. Arrested, March 2025, Las Vegas, Nevada. In March 2025, Las Vegas was shaken by another high-profile sting operation that led to the arrest of Neil Harrison Creasy, a 46-year-old pastor who led a ministry called Redemption Church. For years, Creasy rented space inside the Good Samaritan Lutheran Church on West Sahara and Cimarron, holding services and preaching to a modest congregation. To many in the community, he appeared to be a typical local pastor, approachable, dedicated, and active in ministry. But investigators soon uncovered a disturbing double life. According to law enforcement, Creasy became a target during a 2-week undercover operation coordinated by the Nevada Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, the FBI, and several local departments. Authorities say he engaged in inappropriate online communication and attempted to set up a meeting that he believed would remain hidden. Instead, he was met by undercover officers, arrested on the spot, and taken into custody. He was one of 8 men arrested in the multi-agency effort. Police charged him with using a computer to attempt illegal activity, a felony offense. The arrest stunned neighbors and members of the Lutheran congregation, which quickly clarified that Creasy had only been renting space and was not formally affiliated with their church. The fallout within Redemption Church was immediate. Don Seaborg, president of Pastoral Support, said leaders were surprised and hurt by the allegations. He confirmed that shortly after his release, Creasy contacted leadership, admitted wrongdoing, and resigned from his position, a resignation that was accepted without hesitation. Creasy was released on $10,000 bail and is scheduled to appear in Henderson Justice Court on September 2nd. The case has left the local faith community reeling, a trusted shepherd now facing accusations that expose just how vulnerable even close-knit congregations can be. Number 11. Arturo Laguna. Arrested, February 2025. In February 2025, a shocking arrest shook a tight-knit religious community when Pastor Arturo Laguna was taken into custody. Laguna had long been seen as a respected spiritual leader, building his ministry on trust, integrity, and the promise of providing a safe space for families. His sermons and online presence often emphasized moral responsibility and protection of the vulnerable. But behind the scenes, investigators discovered disturbing evidence. According to reports, Laguna had secretly placed a recording device inside a restroom on church property. The hidden device was uncovered by authorities, raising serious concerns about how long this had been happening and who might have been affected. Court records show that Laguna now faces multiple charges, including unlawful surveillance and breach of trust. Officials have confirmed that the investigation is ongoing, with additional evidence still being reviewed. For his congregation, the news was devastating. Members who had trusted Laguna completely were left grappling with feelings of betrayal, confusion, and disbelief. Many are still struggling to reconcile the public image of their pastor with the serious allegations now tied to his name. Number 10. Stanley J. Arrested, July 2025, Mesa, Arizona. The summer of 2025 brought shock and disbelief to Mesa, Arizona, when Stanley J., a well-known pastor in the community, was arrested in July following allegations that he had seriously violated the trust of a young member of his congregation. The news left the city reeling, as many who knew J. struggled to reconcile the respected spiritual leader they admired with the accusations he now faced. The community watched in disbelief as the investigation unfolded, unsure who to trust. For years, J. had cultivated an image of a caring and supportive pastor. Congregants relied on him during some of their most difficult moments, including times of grief, loss, and personal struggle. Parents and church members often spoke of his dedication and the comfort he provided to those in need, making the allegations all the more jarring. The investigation began when a member of the church courageously came forward with concerns about Jay's conduct toward a vulnerable young person seeking guidance. Authorities began reviewing communications and other records, which suggested a pattern of behavior that represented a serious breach of trust. While the details of the misconduct were deeply concerning, the focus for investigators remained on the exploitation of authority and trust. As news of the investigation spread, many in the church community were left in shock. Members described feelings of betrayal, confusion, and sadness as they tried to understand how someone in a position of spiritual guidance could be accused of such misconduct. Church leadership quickly announced that Jay was stepping down from his pastoral duties, emphasizing their commitment to supporting the affected individuals and cooperating fully with authorities. Jay was subsequently arrested and booked into Maricopa County Jail with a bond set at $200,000. The arrest sparked broader discussions within Mesa and beyond about the responsibilities of spiritual leaders, the importance of transparency, and the mechanisms communities can put in place to protect vulnerable individuals. How could someone entrusted with guidance and comfort be accused of such serious misconduct? This case serves as a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance in all institutions where trust is paramount. It highlights how authority, if misused, can turn positions meant to heal and guide into tools for manipulation, underscoring the importance of accountability, oversight, and community awareness in preventing such breaches of trust. And this shocking case was just the beginning of our countdown. Number 9. Myron Corbagian. Arrested, May 15, 2025, Nashville, Tennessee. May 15, 2025, marked the dramatic end to one of the year's most shocking manhunts when 73-year-old Myron Corbagian, a pastor from Greenville, South Carolina, and his 70-year-old wife, Kathleen, were captured at Nashville's Grand Ole Opry after weeks on the run. The couple had fled their home state amid serious criminal allegations, traveling over 300 miles in an apparent attempt to evade justice. The investigation that led to their flight began when one of their own children bravely came forward with concerns about long-standing misconduct within the family home. Authorities described a pattern of serious neglect and harmful behavior that reportedly persisted for decades, all under the guise of a seemingly normal Christian household. Despite maintaining a public image of devotion and moral leadership, the Corbagians' private lives, as revealed through the investigation, painted a starkly different picture. Church members had often seen Myron delivering sermons online, encouraging congregants to examine their faith and personal conduct, completely unaware of the turmoil reportedly occurring behind closed doors. The arrest in Nashville brought immediate attention to the contrast between the couple's public persona and the allegations they faced. Both Myron and Kathleen are now in custody, facing a complex legal process as authorities work to address decades of alleged misconduct and ensure accountability for their actions. The case sent shockwaves not only through the local community but also across religious circles nationwide, raising critical questions about the responsibilities of leaders and the importance of safeguards to protect vulnerable individuals. How could such serious allegations go unnoticed for so long? And what lessons can communities learn to prevent similar breaches of trust in the future? This arrest serves as a stark reminder that positions of authority, if misused, can hide deep-rooted problems beneath a surface of normalcy. It emphasizes the importance of transparency, vigilance, and accountability, ensuring that those entrusted with guidance and care cannot escape scrutiny. Number 8. Jeffrey Summers. Arrested, March 2025, Port Orange, Florida. March 7, 2025, sent shockwaves through Florida and beyond when Jeffrey Summers, 52, a pastor with deep ties to a historic church in Georgia, was arrested as part of a sweeping law enforcement operation targeting misconduct involving. The news stunned many who had known Summers as a respected spiritual leader. Summers, married and a father of 4, had served as pastor of Maranatha Baptist Church in Plains, Georgia, from 2005 to 2013. This was the same church attended by former President Jimmy Carter, adding an additional layer of public interest and surprise to the case. Authorities reported that Summers had engaged in online communications that raised serious concerns about his conduct. In response, law enforcement organized a coordinated operation in Port Orange, Florida, to address these concerns. Summers was taken into custody upon arriving at the planned meeting location, marking the conclusion of a carefully executed investigation. The arrest came as part of a larger effort by the Internet Crimes Against ICAC unit, which had been actively pursuing several suspects across Volusia County. Officials emphasized that the operation highlighted the importance of vigilance and monitoring online activity to protect vulnerable populations. The fallout from the arrest was immediate. At the time, Summers was also involved with programs serving young people at Horizon Elementary School in Port Orange. The school district confirmed that proper measures were taken to ensure the safety and well-being of students. For a man once entrusted with spiritual leadership and guidance, the arrest shattered the community's perception of integrity and trust. The case drew national attention, not only because of Summers' historic ties to President Carter's congregation, but because it underscored the ongoing need for accountability, oversight, and protective safeguards within all institutions serving children. This case stands as a reminder of how individuals in positions of authority can sometimes abuse that trust, and how communities, families, and authorities must remain vigilant to prevent misconduct and protect the most vulnerable. Number 7. Leo Alfonso Parker. Arrested, June 2025, Palatka, Florida. On June 11, 2025, the quiet city of Palatka, Florida, was shaken when Leo Alfonso Parker, 42, a local pastor, was arrested following allegations of serious misconduct involving a minor. The news sent ripples through the community, leaving residents struggling to reconcile the pastor they had trusted with the accusations now facing him. The investigation began the week prior, when authorities received a report about concerning behavior involving Parker and a young person in the community. Investigators acted swiftly, reviewing evidence and obtaining a warrant. Parker surrendered to detectives on June 11 and was booked into the Putnam County Jail, with bond set at $100,000. Neighbors expressed disbelief at the arrest. "It's kind of scary because I have 2 kids," one resident said. "And there's a school right across the street. That makes it even scarier." The arrest scene drew significant attention, with streets taped off, police officers present, and local families watching in shock as a man long considered friendly and well-respected was taken into custody. In the days leading up to the arrest, some residents had noticed unusual activity around Parker's home, but no one could have anticipated the full scope of the allegations. Police urged anyone with information to come forward, emphasizing that the investigation remained active and ongoing. For the Palatka community, the arrest transformed admiration into caution. Families questioned how such serious allegations could have gone unnoticed, and the case sparked conversations about vigilance, the responsibilities of those in positions of authority, and the measures communities can take to protect young and vulnerable individuals. This case serves as a stark reminder that trust, once broken, leaves deep and lasting scars, and that no institution or individual, no matter how respected, is beyond scrutiny. Number 6. Jim Mustaine. Arrested, April 25, 2025, Ashe County, North Carolina, /booked, May 14, 2025, Denton County, Texas. In May 2025, the arrest and indictment of Jim Mustaine, a 64-year-old former pastor from Frisco, Texas, sent shockwaves through communities across North Texas. Once regarded as a trusted church leader and nonprofit organizer, Mustaine now faces serious charges related to alleged misconduct that prompted law enforcement involvement. According to public records, the investigation began earlier in the year, leading to warrants issued by Louisville police. Mustaine was first arrested on April 25 in Ashe County, North Carolina, and later extradited to Texas, where he was booked into the Denton County Jail on May 14, with bonds set at $100,000. He remains in custody awaiting upcoming court proceedings. Mustaine had served as a pastor at Preston Trail Community Church from 2019 to 2023 and held leadership roles at other local churches and Christian organizations for decades. His work extended into civic boards, volunteer programs, and community initiatives, giving him deep ties to schools, nonprofits, and community development groups. In response to the arrest, Preston Trail Community Church released a statement condemning any form of misconduct and confirming that a third-party law firm had been hired to conduct an independent investigation. Their review found no indication that any children connected to the church were involved or harmed. Similarly, Louisville ISD confirmed that while Mustaine had volunteered in the past, there was no indication that any students or schools were affected. Still, the arrest left many in shock. A man once viewed as a pillar of faith, service, and family life now faced serious legal scrutiny, prompting community reflection on trust, accountability, and the responsibilities of leaders in positions of authority. The case serves as a cautionary tale about how appearances can be deceiving and underscores the importance of oversight, transparency, and vigilance in every community institution. Number 5. Yerson David Solart Bastow. Arrested, April 2025, Sanford, Florida. In April 2025, Sanford, Florida, was shaken when Yerson David Solart Bastow, a 33-year-old pastor, was arrested following serious allegations of misconduct involving young members of his church. The news left the congregation and the wider community reeling, as many struggled to reconcile the pastor they had trusted with the accusations now facing him. Authorities reported that Solart was taken into custody while vacationing with family in Virginia. Investigators stated that the case involved multiple reports of inappropriate behavior with minors at IPUL Pentecostal Church, where Solart had previously served as a leader. Law enforcement described the situation as a clear abuse of trust and authority, prompting a full investigation. Community members expressed shock and disbelief. Families who had relied on Solart for spiritual guidance and mentorship were left questioning how such concerning behavior could have gone unnoticed. One congregant said, "He was someone we trusted with our children and our faith. This is just heartbreaking." Sanford Police Chief Cecil Smith emphasized the seriousness of the case, noting that the investigation is ongoing and that authorities encourage anyone with additional information to come forward. The arrest has sparked conversations about oversight in places of worship, the responsibilities of leaders, and how communities can safeguard young and vulnerable individuals. For now, Solart remains in custody, and his arrest serves as a sobering reminder that positions of authority carry immense responsibility. The community continues to grapple with the impact, reflecting on how trust can be violated and what measures are needed to prevent similar incidents in the future. Number 4. Sergio Guardia. Convicted, August 2025, Lynchburg, Virginia. In August 2025, Lynchburg, Virginia, was captivated by the conviction of Sergio Guardia, a former pastor with ties to Thomas Road Baptist Church and the Southern Baptist Convention in Virginia. Guardia, who once led the Spanish-language campus at Thomas Road Baptist, was found guilty of multiple criminal charges, including burglary and stalking, following a long and complex investigation. The case began with a November 2023 incident, when Guardia was discovered breaking into the home of a former parishioner, Marie Columna, a single mother who had been part of his congregation years earlier. Columna had noticed troubling patterns in her interactions with Guardia dating back over a decade, including repeated attempts to contact her despite her objections. Authorities launched an investigation after neighbors reported suspicious activity at Columna's residence over multiple nights. Police quickly identified Guardia as the suspect, leading to his arrest and eventual conviction. Columna's experience highlighted a long history of misconduct that had gone unaddressed despite repeated reports to church leadership. She described years of frustration and concern that her warnings had not been fully acted upon. The case underscores the importance of taking allegations seriously, particularly when they involve figures in positions of authority and trust. During the trial, church leaders provided statements acknowledging the situation, though some support for Guardia complicated the narrative. Ultimately, the jury sided with Columna's testimony, convicting Guardia on all counts. He now faces a prison sentence of 2 to 10 years, along with fines, with sentencing scheduled for August 20, 2025. The conviction brought a sense of validation to Columna, who hopes her experience encourages others to speak up when facing harassment or misconduct. For the broader community, the case serves as a stark reminder of the responsibility held by leaders and the consequences when trust is violated. Number 3. Charles B. Brinson. Arrested, February 19, 2025, Trenton, New Jersey. In Trenton, New Jersey, February 2025 brought a case that shocked both the local community and observers nationwide. Charles B. Brinson, a 64-year-old longtime church leader, was arrested following serious allegations of misconduct involving a minor under his care. Authorities reported that Brinson had allegedly engaged in repeated inappropriate behavior, exploiting his position of trust with a young member of his community. The teen came forward, prompting a swift response from law enforcement and resulting in Brinson's arrest at his home on February 19. He currently faces multiple criminal charges and remains in custody while the investigation continues. This arrest was not Brinson's first encounter with legal consequences. In 2008, he was previously arrested for misconduct involving a The following year, he accepted a plea deal on a lesser charge, resulting in probation and placement on the appropriate registry. The recurrence of allegations has left many in Trenton deeply concerned, highlighting how positions of authority can be misused and the importance of oversight. Community members and congregants expressed shock and disappointment. "We trusted him with guidance and leadership. This is devastating," one resident said. Brinson's arrest sparked wider conversations about accountability, transparency, and protective measures for vulnerable individuals within institutions that wield influence and authority. Authorities continue to investigate and have encouraged anyone with further information to come forward. For the Trenton community, this case serves as a sober reminder that even trusted leaders must be held accountable, and that vigilance is necessary to protect those who rely on guidance and support. Number 2. Robert Morris. The fall of Robert Morris, founder and former senior pastor of Gateway Church, sent shockwaves through the American evangelical community. In June 2024, Morris resigned amid revelations of long-standing misconduct during his early years as a pastor, with legal consequences continuing into 2025. Under Morris's leadership, Gateway Church had grown into one of the largest megachurches in the United States, boasting multiple campuses and tens of thousands of members. Morris was widely regarded as an influential religious leader, appearing on television, writing best-selling books, and offering spiritual guidance to political and community leaders alike. The scandal centered on accusations that, decades earlier, Morris had engaged in serious misconduct while in a position of authority over younger church members. The claims, brought forward in 2024 by now-adult individuals, described repeated incidents in which Morris abused the trust placed in him by his congregation. Investigations revealed that church leadership had been aware of concerns years earlier but had failed to take effective action. Internal documents suggested that Morris underwent counseling and was deemed restored, allowing him to continue in ministry while questions remained unresolved. This inaction intensified public scrutiny and raised serious questions about accountability within the church. When the allegations became public in 2024, the fallout was immediate. Morris stepped down from Gateway Church, and the congregation faced a profound crisis of faith, with many members questioning their trust in religious institutions. Financial difficulties, public outrage, and a media spotlight added to the pressure, while legal authorities continued to examine whether any criminal charges could be pursued. The Robert Morris case serves as a cautionary tale about the responsibilities of leaders in positions of power and the consequences when oversight fails. For the wider community, it underscores the importance of transparency, accountability, and vigilance to protect those most vulnerable to misuse of authority. Number 1. Elmer Baca-Flores. Arrested, April 2025, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The most shocking case of 2025 comes from Oklahoma City, involving Elmer Baca-Flores, the owner and operator of a non-profit church called Ministerio Levantando Adoradores para Cristo Incorporated. In April 2025, Baca-Flores was arrested after authorities uncovered allegations of systematic manipulation and abuse of trust within his congregation. Investigators report that Baca-Flores had convinced multiple families to relocate to his residence, creating a highly controlled environment where he exerted extensive authority over daily life. Families were isolated from external support systems, and questioning Baca-Flores's decisions was discouraged, creating a structure reminiscent of a tightly controlled community rather than a traditional religious organization. 2 male members of the congregation came forward with detailed accounts, describing how the church leader maintained strict control over members' movements, communications, and interactions. Court documents also revealed that Barkaflores allegedly told one young congregant that they were the chosen one, a designation he reportedly used to enforce compliance and deepen his control. This psychological manipulation left members feeling obligated to follow his instructions and heightened the community's vulnerability to his authority. The investigation suggested that this environment allowed him to maintain significant influence over congregants, leading to serious allegations of misconduct within the community. Authorities emphasized that the focus was on abuse of trust and coercive control, rather than any explicit content. Neighbors, former congregants, and community members expressed shock and disbelief. "We thought it was a safe place, a spiritual home," one former member said. To learn that so much manipulation and control was happening behind closed doors is devastating. The case underscores the dangers of concentrated authority and the importance of transparency, oversight, and community awareness. Families affected by Barkaflores' actions now face the difficult task of rebuilding their lives and understanding how a trusted spiritual leader could manipulate and control so many people for an extended period. Authorities continue their investigation, encouraging anyone with additional information to come forward. The Barkaflores case stands as a stark reminder of the responsibility placed on those in leadership positions and the consequences when trust is abused. The year 2025 will be remembered as one of the most troubling chapters in American religious history. These 12 cases reveal more than just individual wrongdoing. They highlight systemic failures in oversight, accountability, and protective measures within religious organizations across the country. From small community churches to sprawling megachurches, a troubling pattern emerges. Leaders entrusted with spiritual guidance misusing their authority to harm those most vulnerable. Each of these cases serves as a sober reminder that positions of religious authority, designed to provide guidance and support, can be exploited when safeguards fail. Communities affected by these events face the long and difficult process of healing, rebuilding trust, and learning how to protect members from future abuses. While the path forward is challenging, these cases underscore the critical importance of transparency, vigilance, and accountability in every institution tasked with leadership and care.